I'm 43, a working musical theater performer, and I feel better than I did at 23. And no, it wasn't from some crash diet or some miracle routine. What changed? My lifestyle, my mindset, and my priorities. And today I'm sharing the 3 shifts that helped me rebuild my artistic life, from burnout and overwhelm to confidence, energy, and a body that I felt good living in. Whether you're 33 or 63, this video is for anyone that has ever felt disconnected from themselves, especially for performers who feel like the version of themselves that they used to love is gone. She's not. She's just waiting for you to come back. Let's start with what no one talks about. I burned out. I used to be that performer who regularly danced in shows that they were doing. I was extremely active. I was taking quite a lot of dance classes, and I was training consistently. I didn't even have to think about it. It just was naturally baked into my day and my life and my career. But then I went to grad school and I got my MFA in musical theater, and I stepped into higher ed as a musical theater and theater professor. I became tenured. I was working 60 plus hours a week. It was a very toxic environment. And I just hit burnout. I completely stopped taking care of myself. I started living for my job. I was directing and teaching more than I was performing. And I started to feel like I was losing a piece of my life that I had built my dream around. I stopped checking in with my body. I stopped taking care of my body because I was trying so hard to get that title that I thought was going to be very important to me and chasing financial stability that I thought that I wanted. So I was not keeping up with not just my health physically, but my health mentally. I gained weight. I was emotionally exhausted. I was physically exhausted, and I just didn't feel like myself anymore. Eventually, I hit a wall, a tipping point, where I knew that I could no longer sustain this type of life. I left academia. I left financial stability so that I could rebuild my life as a performer and an artist and feel connected to myself again. That decision changed everything. And it was not overnight. It took a very long time to get to where I am right now at this point in time. That is honestly the number one step that I had to make, because there has to be a reason that you want to get your fitness, your life, your health back in a place that feels good to you. Because as you get older, you know this. If you are watching this and you are over 40, you know that as you get older, it gets much harder. You cannot rely on your ability to lose weight easily. The energy gets less. Your metabolism slows down, and you have to work hard if you really want it. And I hit that point at the tipping point where I thought I can no longer go back. There is no going back to that human being. I don't want to be that person anymore. I feel like crap. So then I made the decision of why I'm going to do it. And the why was so that I could be a performer again in many different capacities that I hadn't even tried or explored yet. Once I had the chance to breathe, I asked myself, what kind of life do I actually want? Right now, in my life, in this chapter, what do I want my life to look like? And for me, that meant creating a lifestyle that would support my health long term, not career survival. So we changed how we eat. We learned to cook with intention. We learned to stop relying on outsourcing our food, like eating out. I learned how to take care of my body, what to put inside my body that was best for me. And I did really get serious about how nutrition fuels you rather than draining you. Draining my energy not only as a performer, as an actress, but also as a coach. Because when I left academia, my focus was to create a career coaching business for performers and artists, kind of doing the same thing. We built this home gym that I'm filming in right now at our place in California. And then when we're on the East Coast, we make sure the place we have right now is in a building where the gym is on the top floor of the building. And I always make sure that if I'm Airbnb or I'm traveling, that I figure out how I'm going to work out, because that was such a pivotal part of me getting back to my fitness and my health so that I could feel like not only a performer and confident in my body again, but to have that access to a gym no matter where I was, or not just access to a gym, but what's the plan? Because I travel so much. And the plan for us, my husband and I, was to use Peloton. We love the community. We love the platform. We love the way the classes are created. We love the motivation behind it. And so I have my iPad with me whenever I'm traveling. I can take that. I can pop it on a tread. I can pop it in a hotel room. I can pop it in a tiny apartment in New York, wherever I may be. And I can do some type of class. And in the long run, we have found that that has been the best investment for us because it really became not just fitness, but motivation and positivity on how I approached fitness. Because this was not like a 30-day challenge. It was an identity shift. We became these people who prioritized our health over other things that we used to prioritize, like our career at points. My husband also just recently left academia. He has been public about this on a few places like his Instagram and TikTok, but he has approved that I share this. But he was also in musical theater and he was in academia for longer than I was. At top programs all over the country. The last program that he was at was the chair of the BFA musical theater program and also the BFA theater program at Boston Conservatory at Berkeley. And we both hit this point of burnout. And so I did my tipping point before he did, but he recently just did this as well. And so the past couple of years, we have been on this journey together. And that has been such a pivotal support for us, is because we made the decision to do this together, not just in fitness, but in health and in mindset and making career shifts that felt aligned with the life we wanted to lead. He has lost like almost 40 pounds. He is in the best shape of his life, even better than when we first met, which was on cruise ships as performers. And he was in excellent shape then. Both of us were. Actually, when I talk about being 23, 20 years ago, that's when I was on ships. And that's when I met my husband. We've been married and together that long. And we both know each other at kind of like some of the best years of our youth and our life. And now I feel like we're actually even healthier and happier than we were then. At the end of the day, this transformation wasn't about my appearance on the outside. It wasn't about looking a certain way. It was about feeling a certain way. It was also about showing up as someone that I actually recognized in the mirror rather than trying to be someone else. And for us in musical theater, what we often get trapped in is trying to be someone that casting will like, trying to be what they want, what they need. And because I am dipping my toe now so much more into on-camera work from commercials and print work and even TV and film, I'm able to now approach this new career shift and pivot in addition to being a musical theater stage performer with this mindset of, this is who I am. This is the work that I do. And if that works for you, great. And if not for this project, totally cool. I wanted to start showing up at this age and chapter of my life in auditions in a way that I felt confident rather than walking into a room or on a tape and thinking, oh my God, I'm so old. They're never gonna like me. Like that is something that so many of us think about once we pass 35. Every single client that I work with that is past 35 or almost approaching 35 has this freak out moment. And it's this moment of, I no longer can approach my career the same way that I used to. And that is absolutely true. You can't, because you are not the same person that you were. 35 is like this tipping point in our life as an artist. And so when I got to that point, I had to admit to myself the reality of I was pretty far out of grad school and I hadn't solidly been training and I wasn't booking. And I had to ask myself, what can I do first for me to make it, when I walk in that room or when I show up on that tape, that I feel worthy? That's confidence. If we want to describe what confidence is, and this is something that my clients ask me all the time. How do I get confident in a room? How do I get confident? You have to show up and have the self-worth to know that I am valuable. I deserve to be here. Now, that means that I can control what I do in the room. I can control what I show up in. And me having confidence in my body, having the stamina to do what it takes in this career, if you want to be a part of it, being willing to pivot and train, that all came from me getting right with myself. What I eat, my health, my fitness, my mindset, not being around toxic people or toxic spaces as much as humanly possible. That all equated to me starting to train more because I knew that I was in a place that I felt good and safe to be vulnerable in a room and to be okay with the idea behind rejection at this age, which is much harder to do at 43 than 23 because you cannot control the casting decision. All you can control is how you show up in the room. And because I have made this pivot, I get more bookings. I booked my first big Amazon commercial. I am getting more callbacks and being seen in the rooms that I want to be seen in as a musical theater performer. And that's because I feel so good with myself. Is it perfect? No, nothing is perfect in this world. But I feel like myself more now than I ever did at 23. You control how you show up, how you treat yourself, and how you build the life around the artist that you're becoming, not the artist that you used to be. If this resonated with you, then I want to offer you something that helped me reconnect with the person that I am now. It's called a 5-minute daily mindset ritual for performers. You'll find that below. And if you're navigating burnout, career transitions, or just how to be a performer in the way that it functions right now, this is what I do. Coaching changed my life, and now I coach and help others change their lives into the transformation that they want to live now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more honest, real conversations just like this one, and share this video with a friend, like a performer that needs it.